Hello, healthy friends. This is Terry, and I'm here today to talk about the Aries full moon, which will be coming in October 20th. And I also want to share with you some ways that you can manifest with the moon cycles. And I have a fun little story about that. But this Aries full moon is just bringing in so much energy. I know a lot of people are having trouble sleeping during this moon cycle, and that Aries is that hot, yang, fiery energy. It's like fireworks going off in our brains, and this energy can be harnessed to complete projects and just complete anything that you have to finish up before the year is over, before we enter that Scorpio underworld energy of next month. So use this Aries energy wisely, and you may find that you just have so much energy this month. You'll need to take up a little more exercise, maybe going for the walk in the foliage like we are today, or taking a run, or maybe even kickboxing just to get that Aries aggressive energy out. You know, you're really going to want to move your body. I was just working with a massage client, and we were talking about how moving your body can just release those energetic blocks. So be sure you make some time even for yoga or some kind of movement therapy this October. And when the moon is full, of course, it is always opposed the sun. So every month we have this axis of opposing signs. And this month we have full moon Aries opposing sun in Libra. And Aries is all about the self. And I'm wearing my I am possible shirt to represent the Aries. I am possible. And Aries is, of course, opposing Libra, which is all about our relationships, our self within relationship, how we relate to others, and our giving to the community, giving to others. And so I know a lot of people are going through this sort of dichotomy about what they want, what I want for me, and what is right for my relationship. And there's been a lot of relationship issues in these last 2 years with all the COVID and everybody home so much, and finding that personal space of the Aries, I am, and I need to have some space alone. And the Libra that is in relationship with others, maybe with your family and your friends and your roommate and your partner, and you're spending more time than ever in relationship. And so there is this opposing element that causes conflict between what I want and what is best for the relationship, what is best for the family, what is best for the community. And Aries, which is ruled by Mars, of course, is the warrior, so it represents war. And Libra is the sign of peace. And so we also have a lot of conflicts over whether to go to battle or to try to negotiate for peace. And this is our choice with this axis at this full moon October time. We have to decide, do we want to fight about it, or do we want to have compassion, negotiations, and strive for peace, Libra? So that is your choice at this full moon. And Aries, of course, is the first sign of the zodiac. So Aries is about new beginnings. And I think Aries seems, if you know Aries people, they kind of seem like they're new here. They're like the young souls. They haven't got it all figured out. They're just going for it. And we just got a kitten recently, and the kitten is very Aries-like. You know, it's just like full of energy. Aries has so much energy, but they don't know where to do with it. It's like when you were young and you had all that energy, but you didn't have so much smarts. And so there can be a lot of energy, but not using it in the right ways. Just like a kitten that is just running through the house, chasing a ball, and just crashing into the wall. You know, that's just a lot of energy with nowhere to go, nowhere productive. So you're really trying to put your energy into productive projects and not just flying off the handle with it. And that Aries energy is so ambitious and just go, 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 you know, like Inspector Gadget from back in the day. And they're always in a rush to get to the finish line. And it's like we're in a race, but we don't know where we're going. Whereas Libra is just that old soul quality that is so wise. Libra is more like a slow-moving chess player, analyzing everything and really going to make the move that is the right for everyone. Always thinking of the whole family and giving. And Libra just moves so much slower than Aries. And it's really like a tortoise and the hare race here. And we all know who wins in the tortoise and the hare. It's the slower, it's the Libra. And I see this axis really playing out in Congress right now as they're making so many choices. And there are people who are making very selfish choices and acting rash and not thinking it through and very, you know, young soul, kind of just acting out like a toddler. And then we have these other wise ones who want what is best for the community, the world at large, and they are taking their time. And that Aries energy is just so competitive and it wants to work so hard and make so much money. And I know so many people right now who are just working so hard to the point of burnout. And that's that fiery energy when you have so much fire and you work so hard, and then what happens with fire? It eventually burns out. And the Libra energy just wants us to relax and take some time off as we go into this fall, more internal season, and take time for the self-care. Get the massage, find the balance between how much you are doing and how much you are being. And therein lies the choice with the balancing of the scales. How much should you be working and how much should you be relaxing and taking time with family and your relationship? And that Aries is like that yang, fiery energy, and the Libra is the calm yin, reading a book on the couch. Oh, that sounds so nice. And this full moon, both of these energies on this axis are available to you now, and it is your choice to decide how much are you going to work and how much are you going to rest. And just allow yourself a little more time off this full moon to just be, to just do nothing. Just meditate, stretch, relax, stare at a wall, Netflix and chill, get out in nature, you know, really do the things that nourish you at this full moon so that you don't burn out. And if you've been watching these reports for a while, you'll remember in April when we had that Aries new moon, I was talking about the exercise you can do, which is I am that I am. And you can just take anything that you want to manifest in your life and say, I am abundant, that I am. I am love, that I am. If you want to be a stockbroker, you could say, I am a stockbroker, that I am. I think it's going to be a hard time to be a stockbroker personally, but whatever you want to manifest, whatever you want to step into at this Aries full moon, just try looking in the mirror and talking to yourself and owning it. I am that thing I want to become, that I am. It is a really powerful exercise, and it's a great thing to do with this Aries full moon. And the other thing I was talking about at the Aries new moon, I'll put a link at the end to that Aries new moon report, was about how when you set the seeds of intention at a new moon, it generally takes about 6 months for those to come into full fruition. And it goes so well with the growing cycles. If any of you are gardeners, you plant a seed and you don't expect to have an apple the next day, right? It has to go into germination, and then it has to sprout, and then the plant will grow, and then it creates the fruit, and then you have the harvest. And so there is this long, like 6-month cycle, and that's just how the moon works. I love gardening by moon cycles too. That's something I do in my garden. When you plant a seed at that new moon, I planted a seed at the new moon Aries for the Fall Bend Health Guide. And I just wanted to manifest the best 8 people, 8 local health providers that I could feature. And I just set it out as a new moon intention on the Aries new moon in April of 2021. And I thought, who should we feature for this fall? And now I have this fall health guide, and guess what? It is now the Aries full moon. So the seeds of intention were planted on the Aries new moon, and now at the Aries full moon, I have all these great, Hanai, which is so beautiful, and Elaine, and just all these great, Dr. Krisha, Christine Kenline. I mean, I can't mention them all, but you can check this out. We just direct mailed a ton of these, and they're going to be all over Bend. We put them out all for 6 full months, so make sure to pick up a copy. But I'm just using this as an example. I thought, wow, that is so cool. If I think about what I have this little new moon journal that I just write out my seeds, seeds of intention for each new moon, and then when the corresponding full moon comes, I can look back and see if it did manifest. And in this case, it was just such a beautiful example. I just did this recently where I looked back and went, what was I manifesting at the Aries new moon as I was preparing to do this full moon Aries report? And I realized I had absolutely manifested it. I was holding it in my hand just as we go into the Aries full moon. So it can be so powerful to just, write down your seeds of intention, whatever you wrote down maybe for the Libra new moon. Now give that until April, until you see it manifest. And if it doesn't manifest, then you can ask yourself why. Because sometimes things just are not meant for you. And I love that saying, what is meant for you will not pass you by. So if it passes you by, it just wasn't meant for you. And so we don't always get what we want, but it is really fun to try with the moon cycles. And just, this is manifesting with the moon. On the new moon, you write down your intention and then give it 6 months and see if that intention does come true at the corresponding full moon. And I just love the very cryptic Sabian symbol for this full moon in Aries. It is blown inward by the wind. It's so funny because we're at these trees and there's just wind blowing and the Sabian symbol goes so well. Blown inward by the wind, the curtains of an open window take the shape of a cornucopia. What does that mean? That is a mysterious little one. We have a lot of Pluto giving us mystery this month, so this is a mysterious Sabian symbol representing the openness to the influx of spiritual energies. And to be truly open to the spiritual energies that are trying to find you, you will want to take that time off, that peaceful, restful, out in nature time, that quiet Libra season time. Abundance is heightened into physical fruition, shown here at a much more spiritual, higher level. And the wind is representing spirit, who blows through the open mind of a window and brings into the home a promise of more than enough material prosperity. Whew, I love this one. So as the curtains are blown inward, this is a time of a more internal season. The individual consciousness is an influx of spiritual energy, enabling your consciousness to extend your scope of awareness and creative expression. An inner growth requires a truly open mind, like a window that is left open. And one will be able to provide a container for a spiritual harvest when they take time to be open to the Spirit. The cornucopia shape is molded by transpersonal forces blown in from a higher level. Ooh, I just love that one. It's so fun. And I'm recording this during the week of Navaratri, which is all about the divine goddess. Talk about higher spiritual forces. In Hindu, if you know Navaratri, it's the 9 nights. And this goddess energy will just be flavoring this whole lunar cycle, giving us a theme of the divine feminine rising, divine feminine empowerment. And I just love to celebrate the 3 main goddesses at this time. You can do this very simply by pulling up some chants online. You can go to YouTube and you'll find all the chants for the goddesses, and just sing their names. Sing their names in praise while you do the dishes, and maybe light a candle for that goddess, and give yourself a pedicure, because did you know feet are considered holy in India? So if you give yourself a pedicure, paint your toenails, and put on some bells around your ankle and just go around the house, you will be so uplifted by this simple practice of doing a pedicure, because feet are sacred to the Hindu goddess. And so just do it with intention as you are honoring the goddess that you are while you give yourself a pedicure, the goddess within. And the festival of the goddess is separated into three period nights. So the first one represents Durga, and Durga is the destructive force goddess. She is the destroyer of evil. She is an incredibly protective goddess who will guard you. And you can call on Durga if you're feeling scared or you're feeling threatened, and Durga will swoop in with this protective force like a mother protecting her children. And so we worship Durga for the first 3 nights, and we ask her to destroy anything that isn't serving us at this time. And then the second 3-night period is Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. And so once we have destroyed that which is blocking us, now we are open to receiving. And the goddess Lakshmi is like a hummingbird. She is attracted to the sweetness, the sweet nectar, like you have a hummingbird feeder in your house to attract that hummingbird to that sweet nectar. And Lakshmi will be attracted to your house if you put out some cookies and some sweets, but also keeping sweet words, sweet praising, loving words that you say to your loved ones, your family, your partners, and just keeping sweetness on your lips will attract Lakshmi, and she will bring you gifts of abundance if you stay sweet for the second 3 nights. And then the third section of nights is Saraswati, and she is the goddess of truth and justice. And she ties right in with the Libra. You know, we're seeing some justice being served this lunar cycle for sure, related to women. We have so many women who are fighting about in gymnastics and soccer, and there's like this divine feminine uprising that women are not going to be sexually harassed anymore, and Saraswati is there to serve that justice and to empower women. And she's also someone who will eliminate anything that is tied to the ego. So she will get rid of any ego hang-ups that are just keeping you from being enlightened. And I just love these Hindu festivals and just embracing the goddess at this time as we go into the winter, lighting candles in the dark for the goddess. It just feels so empowering. And this Aries full moon is conjunct another goddess planet, Aries. And that's a whole different goddess. Aries is the goddess of discord. So tempers can really fly on this full moon and even bring anger, rage, and violence. So be very careful. This is one of those full moons I'm just gonna probably stay in. You know, you wouldn't want to be like drunk at a bar on this full moon, because Aries is the sister to Aries. And she is right at home in her warrior Aries sign right now. And she loves the battlefield. She loves to see people fighting. She is kind of like Sekhmet, the goddess that we studied at the Lion's Gate. She has a bloodthirst. And Aries is another divine, feminine powerhouse, but she will destroy the paradigm through chaos, rebellion, revolution, and it's much more negative, as she is that goddess of discord and strife. We will see a lot of crunchy energy. I like to use that word, crunchy energy. It's like, ooh, somebody said, what does crunchy energy mean? But it's like not comfortable. We're going to be going through a process this full moon that is not really comfortable, as we have the moon, Eris, and Chiron all coming together in Aries right now. I like to think of this as a beautiful destruction. It is just crazy, crazy beautiful destruction, but it's a little bit like the Tower card, not one you want to see in your tarot card reading. And something is being destroyed so that a profound healing can occur. And we'll see a lot of people in trauma at this full moon. And this moon is also illuminating some old past trauma, past wounds that need to be healed. So you may even find you have an unexpected injury, or maybe an old injury that you thought was healed, and it just might come up this month. And the body's forcing you to rest now and to really take a look at some old wounds, traumas, injuries, and just bring your attention back to healing your body in some way. And I'm already seeing this on my massage table. People are having old injuries, things that happened to them in high school even, coming back to surface now. And what is the message that they are bringing? They want to be healed, and it's just becoming illuminated. And in some way where there is pain, suffering, or death, there is also healing, rebirth. And I love the quote, "The open wound is the place where the light can enter you." That open wound is the place where the light can enter you. So even if you are experiencing pain at this full moon, just use it as a way to be more open to the energy that surrounds you. And the personal is political, as they say. It's like the whole world is also going through this kind of wounding and realization that the world itself needs healing right now. And so our country needs healing, but the whole world, the earth needs healing. And all of these kind of emotions are really coming up now. And we have Sun, Moon, and Mars all squaring Pluto, the sign of great transformation. And that will be an exact square on October 21st, but we will really be feeling it on this full moon. And Pluto has just gone direct now and is strong, and it's in its strong transformational power in the boxing ring with Mars. And that is the planet of war, and Pluto is the sign of nuclear energy. I mean, this is a spooky, scary square. That's two planets you don't want in the boxing ring. So once again, I will say this is not a good moon to go to war with anyone, and we can just hope that our leaders will not have us going to war with anyone. This is not a good time to be engaged in conflict. Just do not get into conflict. And I know these aspects for me are hitting my third house of neighbors, and I have some neighbors who are just driving me crazy right now. But I'm not going to go into conflict. I'm just going to hide out and ignore them, right? Because we don't want to get into fights with our neighbors, our loved ones, our partners, our family, our siblings. Just don't engage in conflict. This full moon with this Pluto square, we could see an uptick in violence with this aspect. And this is also a potent Pluto return for the United States that only happens every 200 years. And so most of us, thank goodness, will never have to experience a Pluto return, because most of us will never live to be 200 years unless you're somebody like Yoda. I think Yoda lived over 200 years, and maybe he had a Pluto. I think that was when he was in hiding. He was having his Pluto return. And so the U.S. is having its Pluto return, and it is causing a kind of deconstructing transformation. Pluto is the sign of transformation, and hopefully this is going to lead to a better way. And Pluto is right in the second house of the United States wealth. Our money house is being deconstructed, and boy, are we seeing that right before our eyes. I don't know what's going to happen because there's so much that is unknown with Pluto. Of course, Pluto is the planet of the underworld and the shadow and the mystery. So I think so many of us are wondering what is going to happen with the United States money situation, and it is all a mystery at this point, and we just have to embrace the mystery. And it reminds me of a butterfly, the caterpillar going into the cocoon and just liquefying and just not knowing what's coming next, and the butterfly emerges a completely different creature. And so hopefully in this Plutonian transformation, this deconstructing of our United States money house, we will emerge in a better way when it finally is complete. And I don't see this cycle being completed until next spring. Of course, we always have these long astrological cycles. It's not going to resolve itself overnight, but hopefully we'll have a golden resolution that will be transformed by next spring of 2022. And this Pluto squaring Mars at this full moon is just a spooky, scary kind of square, just in time for Halloween. But with any bad situation or any struggle, you can always look deeper to the gifts. There's always a gift within a conflict or a bad situation, when you get to the end of it, you think, wow, that really horrible thing that happened was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. And like for me, I had a horrible landlord once long ago when I lived in Seattle, and it was a lot of conflict at the time. But what happened because of that was it inspired me and motivated me to become a homeowner. And that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. If I'd always had great landlords, I'd probably still be renting today. And I've made so much money from investing in properties that now I'm grateful for the worst landlord ever. So even if you're going through some kind of struggle and you might be too early to see the gift, just have faith that you're going through this karmic struggle right now, any conflicts. It's all going on to bring you somewhere better. And after this full moon on Hallows Eve, October 30th, we will have a intense, I know everybody's so tired of hearing that the astrology is going to be intense, but again, an intense Sun in Scorpio squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And this is another diamond making pressure for all the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. I have Scorpio with strong Leo and Aquarius. I know, I'm so tired of saying this is another square that's going to affect us fixed signs. But we just got to keep remembering that this is how diamonds are made, under pressure. And hopefully in 2022, we will emerge diamonds and we will be ready to shine, because we have been under the pressure cooker all 2021, and it's time for somebody else to take a turn being in the pressure cooker. We are done. We're just about done. We have till December 24th when we have that Saturn-Uranus square, and then please can the fixed signs just be done with the pressure cooker. But this is another one, and this one will cause more conflicts around negotiations and big karmic life lessons. So once again, I wouldn't want to be mediating or being in an argument or a lawsuit with anyone during this October 30th Hallows Eve square of the Sun in Scorpio and Saturn in Aquarius. That's another tough one. But hopefully we're just going to be done with all of these squares soon. And then we have Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury all going direct this month. And so we will slowly start to get to move forward again. And some other hopeful bits of astrology to just keep you, we're like the cat on the branch that's just hanging in there this year. But the 9-star key does have a very hopeful aspect for making money, because we are in a 6 metal star month for a 6 metal star year. So it's like cha-ching, cha-ching. We've got our mind on our money, and our money on our mind, and America has got their mind on the money. And I just saw something on social media about the original coin that was for America, and how I'm going to post an image of it for this video, because the original coin for America actually was interlinked circles, and it said, "We are one. We are one." And then on the other side of the coin, it said, "Mind your business." And so I've just been so fascinated with money lately, as we're in this money star. And it's strange, even with all these negative aspects and a lot of anger and discord going on, there is this underlying current that you can tap into a higher abundance right now. And there is this cornucopia of prosperity that is waiting for you if you just get into the right mindset. And if you just focus your energies, always going to those higher vibrational energies and choosing love and choosing unity and seeing that we are one and that there are two sides to the coin, and we can look at it from both sides now, and we can have compassion for those who think differently than us. And the I Ching that I drew for this full moon just ties in with this concept so well. It's no surprise that I drew number 38, which is opposition. And fire, remember Aries full moon is fire and water, well Libra is air, but fire and air don't do good together either. But fire and water will extinguish each other in their interactions, and they remain apart in this image, this I Ching of opposition. And fire burns upward while water flows downward. So the two rarely come in contact with each other. And all connection is lost now. And opposition shows a situation where people are not seeing events from the same perspective. Oh boy, isn't that true right now? We're just not seeing what's going on from the same perspective. And mutual alienation reveals how an impasse can stop union and cause estrangement. When diverging interests make a situation seem stagnant or futile, remember there are always creative possibilities inherent in the polarity. Yin and yang symbolize opposite forces like day and night, yet both are fundamental to life itself. As this symbol of the Tao illustrates, yin and yang each have the seed of the other residing within them. So try to find that little seed of common ground, or at least compassion for your enemies at this time. And this full moon cycle, I feel so many people I know could really use an energy clearing more than anything. So if you are experiencing the struggle, if you are under pressure, if you are having conflicts at this time, just leave a comment below and I will personally send you a distance energy clearing with my pendulum at this time, just to clear you of any negativity. We're all picking up negativity from social media, from watching the news, so just try to stay in the heart space for this full moon cycle. We're going into the intensity that's only going to continue to ramp up as we go into eclipse season, and I'm going to be talking about the eclipses in the very next month. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. You won't want to miss the eclipses.